So we have developed our plugin, and we actually have a bug in the system because for the moment it's not working. So we have to debug what is going on, and we are not getting any trace errors because we did not activate the tracing in the administration. We first activate in the system settings, customization, uh, the logging for the plugin trace. And we have the option to log only when we have an exception or to log everything so we can see the trace, how our plugins are behaving. And it's recommended production to be off and to only put it as exception when you have a problem for the short period of time that you will do on production, that you will do the debugging. And yeah, yeah, you have to turn it off so you don't consume yeah, storage. So we will put it to all for the moment because we are debugging in development. And let's go again to the plugin tracelog. We have nothing because nothing is going on in the system. Now we try to add our uh, our order product, and still we get the error. And if we wait for some time here, we should get the plugin trace error. We are not getting our error yet, so let's try with the plugin registration tool. Plugin registration and enable tracing. We have to input every time our data here. And what we want to do now is install the profiler in the system. It takes a little bit of time because it is installing a package solution in the and done yet. And we will just wait and wait. Okay. Okay, so the profiler installed, and it's just another solution to the system. Plugin profiler. And what we want to do is in our sales order plugin, we want to see the profile. And since we did not have the profiler installed yet, we don't have any data here. Now that we have installed the profiler, let's just refresh the form and try to execute the same action, and we still have the error, and we should get after some time we should get an error and record here in the and the strange thing is that we are not getting these records. Hmm? Start profiling this step. Okay. We missed one step. That's why we were not getting any data. Now let's just refresh again and try to execute our code again. And we still have the error, but in the debug here we should have a record after some time because it's asynchronous. And debug, have nothing. And this is just a pain, as you said. And just let's try to execute it again. And we're not getting the error. And let's stop profiling. Try to debug it and see if we have the data. We have nothing. Try the other profile method exception. And refresh. And try again. And okay, I think we have one slight problem on how to get our message because in this specific case, the error message is being shown here, and probably we can have it as a response. Not bad. We are doing the worst possible way of debugging because it's not working in the other way. So we have to adapt. So we can now try to debug and choose our exception and choose our plugin. Where is it? this, okay. And now to actually debug, because this is where I wanted to finish, we have to go in Visual Studio at the breakpoint and then attach to the process. And the process to attach, I will explain. It's process ID 9528. So if I order and 9528 attach. Now that I have attached Visual Studio as a debugger to our plugin registration tool, I can click the start execution and I will have a replay of our error. So now I am replaying our execution and I will check what was going on in the system. And we have our order product. And we can see that it has some attributes because it's being created and it has 28 attributes. Depending on what we want to see, the values are here. And I can just go on and I got the sales order reference. And if I go on, I can see that I have the sales order with the owner ID, I think. Okay, sales order ID and owner ID from the system, which is an entity reference to a team. And now I can go on and see that actually my plugin does not throw any exceptions, let's say. And to actually understand what is happening, the problem is not really with our plugin, but it's with the system, let's say. And probably the cause is our plugin, but it's not throwing our plugin. Our plugin made some change to the system that has put the system in an inconsistent state, so it's throwing an error. Yeah, and since we know what happened, the thing is that we noticed from the debug that this owner ID was a team, and our problem actually is that the sales representative, the salesperson, has to be a system user, not a team. And we are trying to assign different, yeah. And we are not getting the error because we changed the context entity, and the error will be thrown after our plugin is executed. So, but at least we saw one way of debugging our plugin. And this is a replay, but the access to the system is not is a replay live, which means we are actually executing this command to the system right now. That we are, if I do start execution again, I can see everything how it's going on. Yeah, and actually when I do this retrieve here, if I will show you what I mean. If I really delete this order, since this retrieve here is not saved, let's say, but it's been executed right now, I will have a fault now, right now, which means that I cannot find that sales order with ID does not exist because we deleted it, and this is not a offline replay, but it's a live replay. You have some context, but the data you retrieve from external systems or from the CRM are live. So it's a mixed, let's say, debugging experience. And this is how you debug plugin.